Hi everyone, good day. Welcome back to our next video. In this video, we will discuss about structures in C. Let's get started. C language provides a rich set of primitive and derived data types. In case these data types do not suit our requirements, C language also provides the flexibility to create new data types. These data types are known as user-defined data types and can be created by using structures, unions, enumerations, and typedef. So we have already discussed about enumeration and typedef in our previous videos. So if you have not watched the video, kindly check the description box for the link. So what is a structure? A structure is a collection of variables under a single name and provides a convenient way of grouping several pieces of related information together. It is used for the storage of heterogeneous data. Already we know that if you want to store a single value, we can store it by using a variable. If you want to store a collection of values which are of the same data type, then we can store that values by using arrays. Now assume that we have some related information which are of different data types. So how to store that values? So that is where we are using this structure. Structure can be used to store heterogeneous data which are related to each other. Let us see how to define structure with different data members. So we need to use the struct keyword followed by the struct tag name. So within the braces, so you have to specify the data members. So what are the related information that we are going to store which are of different data types can be specified in this members. Close the brace with a semicolon. The structure definition defines a new type known as structure type. So here we are creating a user defined type to store a heterogeneous data. The structure tag name is an identifier. It acts as a name for the newly created data type. So let's see an example. Struct book. So book is the structure tag name given for this structure followed by the data members. So here we have 4 data members: title, author, page and price. So the data type for title, it is a character array. For author also it is a character array. For pages it is integer. For price it is float. So we have different data types. So we have members of different data types. We are storing it in a single name called as book. So that is the structure name. So here we are creating a new structure type which is the book. So we can define structure without using a structure tag name also. Say for example, we remove this book. Without using this book also we can define this structure. So the unnamed structure type is also known as anonymous structure type. Structure definition does not reserve any space in the memory. Hence, it is not possible to initialize the structure members during the structure definition. Only after the declaration, memory space is allocated for the structure. So how to declare a structure variable? Variables of the created structure type can be declared either at the time of structure definition or after the structure definition. The amount of memory space allocated to it is equal to the sum of the memory space required by all of its members. Say we'll see what is the syntax. We'll see one example and we will see how memory space is allocated. The syntax for structure declaration: give the struct keyword followed by the structure tag name and then you declare the structure variables. So you can declare as many variables we need. Say it is like declaring variables for integer. Say we declare variables for integers like int a comma b. So a and b becomes the variable of the integer type. Similarly here, these variables are of the structure type. So we are creating a user defined data type. So the variables what we have declared here is of the structure type. The structure tag name we have given. So it is of the particular type. So when you declare an integer variable, so say for example, depending on the compiler, the size of that integer variable will be 2 bytes or 4 bytes. Similarly, what will be the size of the structure variable? So how much memory space will be allocated? So it depends upon the structure that we have already defined. So here in this example, we have the structure book, we have the data members or the structure members, title, author, pages and price. So this is one way of declaring. So after defining the structure, the next line we are declaring the variables. Structure tag name which is book, B1, B2 and B3 are the structure variables which is of the type book, structure type book. So the other way of declaring the structure variables, while defining itself we can declare. So like this, struct book, you give the structure members. So immediately after the structure definition, you give the structure variables. So this is another way of declaring structure variables. So this type of declaration, the second type of declaration can be used when we are having anonymous structure type. For anonymous structure type, it is not possible to declare its variable after its definition. So in this case, we can use this type of structure definition. Let's see how much memory space will be allocated for the structure variables B1, B2 and B3. So first we will consider B1. So B1 is a structure variable of the structure type book. So as the structure member is title, it needs 25 bytes. As it is a character array, character needs 1 byte and the size of the array is 25, so 25 bytes. So next structure member also needs 20 bytes. It's a character array, so 20 bytes. Next for integer, it requires 4 bytes. For float also it requires 4 bytes. Totally for B1 variable, it occupies 53 bytes of memory. Similarly for B2 variable and B3 structure variable, the same amount of memory is allocated. So 25 plus 20 plus 4 plus 4, it requires 53 bytes of memory for this variables. Let us see how to initialize values to the structure variable. The number of a structure variable can be initialized by providing an initialization list. The order of initializers must match the order of structure members in the structure definition. Even if the values in the initialization list is less than the number of members, the rest of the values will be assigned with 0 for integer, 0.0 for float and null value /0 for character. So we'll see the syntax for initialization. So while declaring the structure variable itself, we can give the initialization list. So we have two ways of declaration. One is immediately after the structure definition. So there also you can give the initialization list. Another one is after the structure definition, you declare the structure variable. So here we have an example how to give the initialization list. Give the structure definition. We are using the same structure which we have defined already, struct book. Structure members includes title, author, pages and price. So after you define, separately you declare the variable. You give struct, the structure tag name followed by the structure variable B1. So here in the declaration itself, we are initializing the value for the structure variable B1. So you know that when we declare the variable B1, memory is allocated. So when we are initializing the values will get assigned to the particular memory. Say for example, for title, it will assign learn C. For author, it will assign and C. For pages, it will assign 500. For price, it will assign 300. So one-to-one mapping is done. This is how the values will be assigned to the structure members when we are initializing. Next is accessing the structure members. The members of a structure variable can be accessed by using dot operator. It is also known as direct member access operator. The syntax for accessing the structure members, you give the structure variable name dot structure member name. So structure variable name is the name by which we are declare the structure dot the structure member name. So members in the structure. Say for example, we have defined the structure book, struct book followed by the structure members. So title, author, pages and price are the structure members. So we have declared the structure variable B1, struct book B1. B1 is the structure variable. So how will you access this structure members with this variable? By using the dot operator. So you can see in the printf, we are accessing the members with the dot operator and the structure variable name. B1 dot title, B1 dot author, B1 dot pages, B1 dot price. So this is how we access the structure member. So we already know that when we declare a structure variable B1, memory will be allocated for each structure members. So when the initialization is done, you will initialize these values to the corresponding location, one-to-one. So title will be assigned as learn C. So you will assign learn C. Then author will be assigned and C. Pages will be assigned 500. Price will be assigned 300. Now how to access the each value of each member, structure member by using a dot operator. So this is B1 structure variable. In B1 structure variable, we have these values. Just by giving the structure variable name dot the structure member name, you can directly access the values in that location. So here it will print learn C and C 500 and 300. So this is how we will be accessing the structure members. Let us see an example how structure is defined, declared, initialized and accessed, how the memory is allocated by using this program. So the same structure definition we have defined here. Till now what we have used, we have defined the same structure, book. The structure members are title, author, pages and price. So you can see we have done two types of declaration. We have declared a variable B1 immediately after the structure definition and another variable B2 separately. So you can see struct book B2, we have done the second variable declaration along with the initialization of the values. So here in this program, we will be declaring two structure variables, B1 and B2. So for B1, it will allocate memory for title, author, pages and price. Then for B2 also, it will allocate memory for title, author, pages and price. So in B2, the values that will be assigned will be learn C, and C, 500 and 300. So what will be the values in B1? So in B1, we are reading the input from the user. So by using the scanf statement and the normal way, we are using the same format specifies for character array, we are using percentages. Then for author, that is also a character array, we are using percentages. Pages are integer, we are using percentage D. Price is float, we are using percentage F. So how we are accessing the location? By using the structure variable name and the structure number B1 dot title, B1 dot author. So this is how we are accessing that location. By using the scanf statement, we are reading the value from the user. So you can see here in the input we have given learn programming. The author is ANSI. Number of pages 700. Price 550. So this value will be assigned to the B1 structure variable, the structure members of B1 structure variable. We have displayed both the values for the B1 structure variable and B2 structure variable. So you can see B1 dot title, we are accessing that particular location. So when you print, you will get the same value, whatever is available in B1. B1 dot author, B1 dot pages, B1 dot price. Similarly for B2 also. So let us run the program and see what output we are getting. You can see here, so for B1, learn programming, ANSI 700 and 550. So for B2 structure variable, we have the value learn C, ANSI 500 and 300. So the next three statements, printf statements, prints the size of these variables. So we know that when you are declaring a variable, some amount of memory space is allocated, which depends on the data types of the structure members. So here we already know that 53 bytes will be allocated, 25 bytes for title, 20 bytes for author, 4 bytes for pages and 4 bytes for price. But the size displayed is 56 bytes. Theoretically, memory allocated for the structure variable is the total byte requirement of the structure members. But practically, in order to improve the efficiency, structure padding is done, which adds few more bytes. That is why here we get the output as 56 bytes. Using the size of operator, and if you pass the B1 variable, it will print 56. For B2 also the same, 56. So without specifying the structure variable names, if you give the structure type directly struct book, that will also give you the same result, 56. In this video, we discussed about structures in C. In our next video, we will discuss about unions in C. Hope this video was useful to you. Kindly like, share and subscribe the video. We will meet in the next video. Thank you.